Tonight on KSL Outdoors, we'll show you Utah's largest OHV trail system, plus
oh yeah,
Sand Hollow bass fishing is on fire, and
unbelievable, it's beautiful.
Taking a stroll through the Narrows. All that and more next on KSL Outdoors.
KSL Outdoors with Adam Eakle is brought to you by your local Ford stores.
Thanks for tuning in to KSL Outdoors. I'm Adam Eakle along with Kirk Stedman. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, we're in Tooele today. We're going to try out the Prospector OHV Complex. I've never been there. I've never even heard of it. Do you know where it's at?
Yeah, it's south of Tooele, out by Vernon. It actually connects to a lot of trails out there. There's a lot of places to ride.
All right. You all loaded up? We are.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
All right, let's hit the trail.
We're heading out to the Prospector Trail system, which is located out by Vernon. It encompasses Tooele County, Gila County, and Utah County. There's a couple different places you'll be able to use the map when you get to close to Vernon. You can go to Simpson Springs Road, and also there's a trailhead and some kiosk information on the corner where you turn to go to the Vernon Reservoir.
I probably put the first motorcycle tracks on most of the trails in this county myself.
The Stedman family is hosting today's ride of the new Prospector OHV Backway Complex. This complex is billed as not only the largest OHV complex in the state, but one day will also be the largest in the United States.
You go to Moab and there's hundreds of people. And so you're always in a crowd. Out here in the West Desert, you're probably not in much of a crowd. Some weekends you would be, but not too many.
This has been in the making for over 20 years, and we've worked with Utah County, Juab County, Tooele County, BLM Field Office, Salt Lake, and then also the U.S. Forest Service as well, and bringing all these agencies together in order to enhance this great quality trail system. It's over 400 miles, and so it offers a lot of diversity for riders that are along the Wasatch Front to easily access this. So they can see all sorts of West Desert, especially this early riding season, and also in the late fall season as well.
These roads have been here forever.
Yeah.
They've been here forever because they all used them. But they get you to different peaks, and like most of them are made probably by farmers or hunters. And our county's been smart enough to organize it into a group and a loops that are fun. And yet you can see some of the outdoors. There's some of these places have little creeks. This Vernon Creek got little fish in it.
And Vernon Creek feeds Vernon Lake, a small little reservoir just south of Vernon. Here, the Bradley family had the whole lake to themselves.
Just our family, yep. We try to come up when it's nice and slow out here, when there's not a whole bunch of campers. So then we can, just spend the day fishing. It's been fun. But yeah, we'll get our limit, go home, cook them up, eat them, and come back up again. It's a nice little small place.
The system is marked, has the specific Prospector logo, which is an old miner with a tin pan and a donkey. And so the idea is follow that system. The system is marked, and in Utah, anything that isn't open as marked with either a map, description, or marker is closed. And so we encourage people, make sure you do your research work before you arrive. If you do arrive, pay attention to the map that's available. It really offers up a diversity for those that want to come and learn a little bit about the history of the Old West, along with having a great opportunity to come out and ride such a unique system that's very, very different compared to high elevation riding. As this system continues to grow, we're also focusing on making connectors in other areas around the state to eventually ride from Tooele County all the way down on the western side of the state to the Utah-Arizona border. So once again, enhancing a great western ride experience for those OHV enthusiasts that currently reside in the state or visiting from outside the state.
We just showed you a small portion of the 400 miles of the Prospector Trail today here in Tooele County. It's a great place, though, to bring the entire family. You have tons of seclusion out here. If you want one of these free maps, you can pick them up
right there online at stateparks.utah.gov, or stop by at Stedman's there in Tooele. They've got free copies as well. They'll lead you in the right direction. Hey, coming up on KSL Outdoors.
Oh yeah.
Southern Utah bass fishing is on fire. We'll show you where and what to use.
That in a moment, but first, tonight's Burt Brothers quiz question.
Carving through the middle of Tooele County is a small piece of American West history. The Pony Express Trail was spurred by the threat of Civil War and the need for faster communication with the West. The Pony Express Trail was a mail service from St. Joseph, Missouri across the Great Plains, over the Rockies and Sierra Nevada mountain ranges to Sacramento, California by horseback. At its height, there were over 400 horses, 80 riders, and 190 stations. Our Burt Brothers quiz question tonight is, how many days did it take riders to complete the 1,900-mile trail, and what was the demise of the service? The answer when KSL Outdoors, powered by Ford, returns.
KSL Outdoors is also brought to you by Fish Tech Outfitters, Utah State Parks, Burt Brothers, Sportsman's Warehouse, Evanston, Wyoming, and Camp Chef.
Welcome back to KSL Outdoors. I'm Adam Eakle. Well, we've got the entire Robinson crew from Robinson Marine, and we've moved down to southern Utah to Sand Hollow for hopefully some good bass fishing. We'll have that here coming up. But first, tonight's answer to our Burt Brothers quiz question. And our question is, how many days did it take riders to complete the 1,900-mile Pony Express Trail? And what was the demise of the service? Here's the answer. It took 10 days to complete the trip from Missouri to California. In October 1861, the Pony Express Trail was officially terminated. It became obsolete by the advent of the telegraph system. Messages that took 8 weeks by ship or 10 days by the Pony Express now only took 4 hours by wire. Sand Hollow Reservoir is a bass lover's haven, and my buddy Cal and his family love largemouth bass.
Yeah, it's a boys trip only this weekend. We got all the kids out here and their friends, and we're just going to do a little fishing.
Can't let the son-in-law out fish you.
Oh, that won't happen.
I noticed they put us in the oldest boat.
Yeah, we're in this 1987 Ranger. They're running around them new ones, but we'll probably catch more fish than them.
Cal, my old man, got me out here at a young age, and all my kids enjoy it. And, it's good times.
Whoa, maybe it's bigger than he looks.
Nice little fish.
Yeah, he ain't a bad one. Grab the old brown jig.
Drop shotting a Yamamoto grub is Cal's favorite way to fish Lake Powell, and it works here too.
Put a little bobber stopper up here with a sliding quarter-ounce weight. About 18 inches, 19 inches of leader, and a weedless hook. Pretty simple.
Hey Jake, you got as many as your grandpa now. Heck, I think that one's bigger. The kids are kicking butt with a jig and a chartreuse grub. Cal jokingly calls chartreuse charouse, and I don't think he wanted to fish with it. That's a little better.
We're getting bigger. Oh yeah, yeah.
I may have to borrow one of your chartreuses.
I don't know why we're throwing these chartreuse grubs. We're not going to tell anybody, especially them kids.
Chartreuse. They're not monsters yet, but we're starting to get a few. That's got to be about a dozen fish so far. Boy, your dad just hated fishing with that chartreuse jig, didn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't want to admit that I finally had a lure that worked, and it's usually the other way around, but this time it was my lure.
I'm never going to hear the end of it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
DJ?
Get it.
Oh, yeah.
We seem to have caught them everywhere on the lake yesterday, so there's an island out there. We even caught them right here by the boat ramp. Got a belly on him.
If someone was coming down here in the next few weeks, what would you be throwing?
I'd probably be throwing chartreuse grubs. There's one. I think chartreuse grubs, brown grubs, spinnerbaits, Seco. Well, I'd probably just start on the north side of the dam and just work your way down the bank. It's feeling good. He's coming up. Whoa, he's the biggest one of the day. Oh yeah.
Boy, if you have never been to Sand Hollow, you have got to come out and experience what I think is one of the top state parks we have here in Utah. The fishing, the scenery, the beautiful water. Come down and enjoy it. Hey, time now to head back up to Salt Lake for tonight's Fish Tech Fish Report.
So you show up at your favorite water and it's muddy. You can either fish or go home. I'm not going home. Hi, I'm Mickey Anderson from Fish Tech with this week's Runoff Fishing Report. In muddy water, fish have a tough time seeing. First of all, in shallow water, the light can penetrate all the way to the bottom and the fish can find food along the bottom. If they're not there, you can put your fly in shallow water just by moving your indicator. Run it up and only fish about 24 inches deep. That is my favorite tip. The next is the fly you choose. Get something with a little bit of color. My favorite is the orange UV1, but flies that have a little bit of flash, like the tungstone, some of these flashier flies here can work really well. The next is a silhouette. The fish will look up. You want a dark image against that bright sky. Now they can't see really well, so give them a bunch of casts. Fish the hole slow. Keep throwing and throwing and throwing through the same water. Give them a chance to find it. If they're in slow water and they're taking your fly, sometimes your indicator will just barely move because the water's moving really slow. It'll move your fly slow. The fish takes it, your indicator barely shakes. If you see any movement at all, especially on a shallow rig, set the hook. Hey, hopefully these muddy water tips can help you out, but for these tips and a whole lot more, come on down to Fish Tech. And now for tonight's fishing line.
Welcome back to KSL Outdoors. I'm Jared Hargrave. Well, we're down here in Zion National Park on a 16-mile overnight backpacking trip through the Zion Narrows. It's one of the most spectacular hikes in all of Utah.
Unbelievable, it's beautiful. You know, you have 2,000-foot cliffs on both sides. You're in the river, it's a narrow canyon, it's pretty cool.
Scenery is just drop dead gorgeous. Red rocks, trees, side chutes of crack canyons. It's breathtaking beautiful.
Backpacking the Zion Narrows is a trek inside southwestern Utah's most dramatic canyon. The Virgin River cuts through geologic time going back millions of years, and as you look up to a sliver of sky between canyon walls as tall as skyscrapers, to say you feel small, that would be an understatement.
We started at Chamberlain Ranch, which is outside the park, and then made our way down to the river after about 3 miles or so of just hiking in the desert, basically.
But after that, you get in the water and things get quiet. You get in some part of the Narrows, it gets kind of dark. I don't know, there's no good way to describe it. It's just, it's very surreal.
As we follow the Virgin River deeper into the canyon, walls close in and the trail disappears.
You're hiking in the water, which adds to the challenge of it. Makes it a little more difficult, and that varies depending on the water level.
This looks deep. So we see if we can go up to our hips on this one. You've got rocks. You need to use a pole in front of you to test the gauge of the depth. Otherwise, you're going up to your hip. I did that once today.
It's about 16 miles from top to bottom, and you can do it in one day, but it makes for a really long day. I think it's more enjoyable to do it in 2.
Which is how we do it. After camping overnight, we descend into the lower canyon. Easily the most spectacular part of the trip.
The deeper we go in the canyon, the deeper the water gets. We passed a spot where 2 rivers come together, twice as much water, and right at that moment, we're up to our knees every step we have taken. You come out of the crack canyon, and it's not just a panoramic view side to side, but vertically, thousands of feet straight up, red rocks and different strata. It's just gorgeous.
It's very unique. It's unlike anything else that I've ever done. It's hard to compare it to anything really. It's one of a kind.
If you want to hike the Zion Narrows yourself, there's some gear you're going to need. First up is a dry bag. Put your sleeping bag and clothes in this and it'll keep it dry in the river. Also, neoprene socks. These will keep your feet a lot warmer than normal socks. And to go with that, you want shoes that have webbing so the water can drain when you're walking in the river. Otherwise, your shoes will get really heavy. Most important, trekking poles. You're hiking in a river, the bottom is all smooth, wet rocks. With trekking poles, they'll keep you upright if you slip, and also you can use them to gauge the depth of the water as you go. For more information about hiking the Zion Narrows, check out the Zion National Park website. And now let's send it back to Adam for this week's Utah Field Guide.
An animal you may see down around St. George is Utah's largest lizard, the Gila Monster. It is estimated that they only spend about 5% of their lives above ground. The rest of the time they seek shelter in underground burrows, only emerging when the temperature is just right to feed and to mate. The Gila Monster may only eat 5 to 10 times a year, but when they do feed, they may consume up to 1/3 of their body weight. Gila monsters are only one of 2 venomous lizards found in the entire world. They don't have fangs like venomous snakes do, but must bite and hold on to deliver the venom into the open wound caused by the teeth. Very few humans have ever been bitten. The venom causes tissue damage and is very painful, but seldom, if ever, fatal to humans. In recent years, research has shown that components found in Gila monster venom can be very effective in the treatment of diabetes and may also prove helpful to those suffering from Alzheimer's disease or other forms of memory loss. There are many other interesting facts to discover about Gila monsters, and the more you know, the more you enjoy Utah's wildlife.
Well, the snowpack looks good up there on top of Mount Timpanogos. Hopefully there's some more spring rain on the way. We could sure use it. Let's find out by turning it over to the guys and gals in the weather department. Welcome back to KSL Outdoors, back here in Tooele County on the old Prospector Trail System. Hey, don't forget when you're out riding this year, especially your kids, wear a helmet. Nothing worse than a head injury and ruining a great trip out on the road. Hey, don't forget also when you're out looking for some good ideas for your family and friends, check our outdoors calendar page right there on our website at ksltv.com. Old Ethan Stedman here. You've been running that GoPro all day for us, haven't you? You like that thing? You getting some good video? All right, we're gonna have to pay him by the hour. Maybe some chicken nuggets later. How's that? Hey, don't forget when you're out with your family and your friends, take a lot of pictures. Let them take a few pictures. Submit them to our snapshot contest. Now let's turn it over to you for the best of the week, our snapshot of the week.
We kick it off with a daddy-daughter trip to Pariah Canyon. Bud's daughter Emily is going to school at Utah State University this spring. Bud drove down from Wyoming, picked up his daughter, and fulfilled her wish of hiking the beautiful Pariah Canyon on the Utah-Arizona border. A great 4 days in the canyon with his daughter. Ryan's wife Amy took this Big Tom opening morning of the hunt. Amy was the only one out of 10 people to draw a tag, and no one in their group had any experience hunting turkeys. So it was a big surprise when this almost 9-inch bearded Tom came to the call. Amy dropped the Tom in his tracks, and now the whole crew has come down with turkey fever. Every year for the past several years, Larry has enjoyed going to a lek in the spring to watch the fascinating courtship display of the sage grouse. They really do put on a great show. Sage grouse populations are down significantly from historical levels. Larry hopes we can prevent further decline and hopefully start to rebuild populations of one of the most iconic symbols of the American West. I thought this was really a cool picture. This is Hunter with his opening day LaSalle Mountain Gobbler. It had rained and snowed that day. Hunter and his dad set up early and had a tom gobble just a few hundred yards away. Hunter's dad was able to coax the big bird with a few sexy calls, and Hunter took aim with his new shotgun that he got for Christmas and let him have it. The 2-year-old Tom weighed in at 17 pounds and had an 8-inch beard. But our winner tonight not only got his bird, but he also got Mom one too. Wiley's mom, Mandy, likes to hunt but had never hunted turkeys. This year, she and Wiley both drew. Opening morning, using his mouth, Wiley called in this beautiful Tom and Mom capped it off with her first ever turkey. Wiley then was able to stalk his Tom through a heavy grove of trees and get his bird. Mandy says there were many good memories made that day. Well, to help you remember the hunt with your son, Mandy, we're sending you our big prize from Camp Chef for having the Snapshot of the Week. Remember, submit your pictures or video plus a brief explanation of your latest outdoor adventures online at ksltv.com. The winner each week wins a commemorative 100th Anniversary National Parks Cast Iron Dutch Oven and Skillet. And the winner is also entered into our Ford Trucks quarterly Facebook giveaway for a Camp Chef pellet grill.
Camp Chef has improved your campsite cooking for 25 years. Let's improve your patio cooking with the Camp Chef pellet grill. Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
Kirk, Bruce, you guys have got to be pretty excited that one of the largest trail systems in Utah is right in your own backyard.
It's pretty awesome. Most people don't realize how many roads and trails there is here, and we hope people come and enjoy them and take care of them and stay where they're supposed to stay, but enjoy yourself.
Sure. And speaking of take care of them, your little boy, he saw the sign, leave it better than you found it. He was picking up garbage, wasn't he?
Yeah, we got the bed full on the Pioneer.
What a good kid, starting him out right. What a great kid. Hey, don't forget to go visit our friends Stedman's in Tooele. What's the slogan?
Well, you might think it's 300 miles out here, but I'll guarantee it's only 30 back.
There you go. I'm Adam Eakle, KSL Outdoors, reminding you to get out with your family, your friends, and make some memories like a ride in Tooele County outdoors. We'll see you next weekend. Good night.